One of the number one questions I get today when I give keynotes, I travel the world and sit on panels, is will AI and robots take my job? Will they basically replace us as humans? Now here's the reality. Not if we don't let them. Computers and robots, which are computers, cannot think. They cannot have original thought, and they cannot have emotions. So as long as we go in and we embrace what it means to be human, humans can have original thought. Humans can have emotion. Humans can have compassion. Computers can't. I don't care what anybody says, a computer cannot have original thought. It needs data set. And I'll prove it to you. When you build robots, you have to feed it data. Now, it can use that data to do predictive analysis, right? So it can use data sets, but any robot is dumb out of the box. If I take a computer or a robot and I don't give it any data, any information, any training at all, it can't do anything. It can't act, it can't behave. AI and robots are based on robust data sets. The more data we feed it, the more it can go in. Now, artificial intelligence is exactly that. It's artificial. It's using data sets that we give it. We are voluntarily giving it how we think and how we act so that it could mimic our behavior. But it can't come up with an original thought. You can't create a computer that's going to be like a child that actually goes out and can think and decide. We have to give it the data. We have to give it the information, and then it does predictive analysis, thus the word artificial intelligence. If I'm going into an AI or a robot and saying, I'm having a really hard day, I'm really struggling, yeah, it can come back going, I understand. I know you must be going through a hard time. I know you must be having emotional stress. What if you go for a walk? What if you go in and go for a talk? But here's the reality. There can't be any emotion because computers can't feel. Computers can't go in and have compassion. They could pretend. They could say what a human says, but let me ask you a question. If you're having a hard day and you're talking to a robot and it says, I understand that you're having a hard day. I know that it's difficulty. You should try to do some journaling. You should try to go for a walk. I'm here to listen and help you. Is that really going to connect with your soul? Is that really going to make you feel better? Or what if I'm a human sitting across the table from you and I put your arm on your shoulder and say, I understand. I've been through it and I know it's difficult. Let me give you a hug. Let me go in and help you through this. Why don't we go for a walk together so I can really listen and understand and show compassion to you? That only humans can do. Now, robots are going to try to get close, but they can never mimic that. So here's the thing. Are we going to tolerate emotionless behavior? Are we going to be okay that when we're having a difficulty time, instead of talking to a real doctor, or instead of talking to a real professional, we're talking to a robot that's trained on a data set of those professionals? We get to decide whether robots take over the world or not, on whether we accept substandard, emotionless behavior and feedback from robots. Now, here's the unfortunate part. Robots can never elevate the human status. They can never act and behave exactly like us. As I said, they're emotionless computers that can't have original thought. But here's the scary part. Here's what I worry about for the future. While robots can never elevate their status, the human level, humans, if we decide, can downgrade our status to computer levels. If we decide that a computer is an acceptable form for a human, that having a computer that can give us answers and give us recommendations and give us guidance with no emotion and no compassion, if we think that's okay and we start letting computers take the place of humans, We are basically turning humans into computers, and we're giving all of our power away. That's what scares me. We have to step up and say, I want to talk to a human. I do this all the time. I get so frustrated when I call these different help desk or hotlines or go to offices and there's computers. I'm like, I don't want to talk to a computer. I would like to talk to a human, please. I would like to talk to another human that I can relate and connect to and be able to have a meaningful conversation. I'm not talking to a computer. I don't accept it. And the more that we stand up and stop accepting humans being turned into computers and giving computers all the power, until we do that, we're going to live in a very scary, dangerous world. Yes, computers and robots can help out. But if we give them too much power and too much authority, they can actually take over. Computers can be stronger, more powerful, and more destructive. You can have a computer that actually has weapons embedded in it, physical strength that outdoes any human. And what if that computer decides that for our best safety, we can't leave our house? What if the computer decides that we shouldn't do certain activity and the computer actually stands up to us and so I'm not letting you do this? And you're like, oh no, I'm going to do this. And the robot actually uses force against you. This unfortunately is a reality. A lot of these movies that we've watched 15, 20 years ago, unfortunately are becoming true. They're becoming real threats where robots could potentially take over. And I hate to say it and be a little dramatic here, but if we're not careful and we give our power away and we let humans downgrade to the level of a computer, we could be on the verge of human extinction in 20, 30 years, where robots decide they don't need humans anymore. Because here's the cool part. Robots are predictable. Robots will always do the same thing every single time. Robots don't make mistakes because they can't have original thought and they can't go in and have emotion. Humans can. Somebody could tell me to do something and I decide I don't want to follow directions. I decide when I'm driving that I'm going to run a red light. Computers don't do that. A self-driving car will always stop at a red light. It's never going to deviate from its program. It's never going to make a mistake or do something that we didn't tell it to do. Now, it might make a mistake because we told it to do the wrong thing, but computers will always do what they're told. Always. They're never going to deviate from the programming that we give them. So that's one benefit, like in manufacturing and building cars or computers or other devices, is the computer is not going to get tired. The computer is not going to be dealing with family issues and forget a part in the car. The computer is not going to be texting when it should be working. So unfortunately, there are some jobs that are going to be replaced by robots, but we get to decide how quick and how fast. If this is of interest to you, if I'm sort of striking a chord where you're like, I never thought about these issues or implications, go in and drop a note to this video and give us your details or information, or go to Dr. Eric Cole, DrEricCole.org, and fill out a form so we can get you on the mailing list. Or you can reach me at ecole@secure-anchor.com, ECOLE@secure-anchor.com. So the future is upon us. Robots are here, computers are here, and you and me and everyone else get to decide whether we're going to downgrade humans to the level of robots, or we're going to step up and realize that robots don't replace humans, they can't have emotion, they can't have original thought, and we're only going to use robots for select activity and not let them replace humans.